Barnstable County is notorious for its probate court being backed up. And,
Sure.
and so this particular person was asking about, how do I deal with that with my kids? I don't want them taking 6 to 18 months to get it cleared through probate.
Sure.
Now, personally, we just went through, my mother-in-law unfortunately died, and we just went through it. And it took 2.5 years to get through probate. So I was being jealous when he was saying 6 to 18 months.
6 to 18 months sounds like at light speed at that point.
Yeah, that's right. Sure. How do we avoid that?
So the issue around the probate piece is something that we preach to clients a lot. We try to say, look, let's try to avoid having any exposure to the probate court. What we try to remind people of is this one fact to sort of simplify it, which is probate applies, or the need for probate exists when somebody passes away owning something in their name alone at their death. Okay. So for example, IRAs, 401ks, life insurance, that usually comes with a named beneficiary. Those items usually don't go through probate. So what would go through probate is a bank account that was in one person's name or real estate. And for real estate and for bank accounts and for investment accounts, any of those things that would end up in potentially one person's name, we find ourselves recommending the use of trusts, which is basically taking the wishes that would normally go in your will and put them in a trust document and then putting things in the trust. Think about a trust like a box. You're going to put some things in the box. We would put your house in the box. We would put some investment accounts and some money in there. The idea is to make sure that there's nothing left in your name alone, and that the trust works very much like the will to basically make sure that money goes exactly where you want it to go without needing to go through the halls of the Barnstable County Probate Court. So that's how you avoid having to have any exposure with the probate court, to make sure that there's nothing in your name alone. That could mean adding your kids as beneficiaries to accounts. That could mean putting your accounts into a trust, putting your house into a trust. That will help you avoid all of that to minimize your exposure.
Yeah. Now, I have to say, just to defend the Barnstable courts here for a second, when we had that situation,
Sure.
It did take, as I say, 2.5 years. But when I went, they were very nice. They actually had a judge come out and talk to me at one point, which I was impressed with. So I just wanted
the court personnel are super, super people to work with. They're very, very helpful. They know their way around the system very well. My understanding is that statewide, not just Marsden County, statewide, the probate courts are somewhat understaffed right now at this particular point in time. So obviously that creates some of these drawn out, more dragged out situations. And sometimes that could be one of the reasons that people are thinking about doing it themselves. They might want to think about it and say, I don't really know the system that well. Maybe this is where getting somebody involved who can kind of help me out and do that might be beneficial. And yes, to your point, the folks in the court personnel, very, very nice, very polite, and they're always happy to help out. They always have all the answers for you. So yeah, it's a good way to go.
Well,